Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets.
Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets.
Nazi scum off our streets.
Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets.
So, for next speaker, just want to say one thing. That you got to pay attention to the name. Sports, beer, and politics.
What even are sports?
What's sports, beer, and politics? They make it sound innocent because that's the strategy. They want you to sound innocent. Oh, we're just good patriots. Oh, we just support the president. But we know we got to look behind that. We know what they're trying to do. They're trying to oppress the working class, trying to kill black folk, trying to oppress immigrants. We got to stop it before it happens. The only way to stop it before it happens Also, I want to give a shout out to the unions here, especially ABW right here. This is very nice to keep the road. We need the unions and we need everybody here. All right, so I'm going to introduce Workers' World, and the event is still going on. I'm going to stop emceeing, all right, folks? So, the next speaker is going to be Scott from Workers' World. Oh, all right, now it's going to be Leo from Workers' World. All right, it was a pleasure emceeing you folks. And listen, don't leave, but if you're going to leave in groups. But don't leave. The events will still continue on. Thank y'all for allowing me to MC y'all.
All right, just to reiterate what Eric said, if you're gonna leave, leave in groups. Say it to me back. If I'm gonna leave, say it again. There we go. My name is Leo. I use they, them pronouns. I'm saying that once. Secondly, I love this chanting with the band. Y'all ready to play again? We have to do some shit, all right? Let me get fist up! Fist up! Fist up! Fight back! 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 Alright. Let's talk about the importance of why I said that chant. Specifically, that chant is a play off the words what? Hands up, don't shoot. But no. Hands up, don't shoot makes us the victims. We're not playing this shit no more. We've been shot by them, by the black and blue, by the reds and blues over here. We've been shot up, we've been firebombed, we've been lynched, we've been attacked in the streets. We're not with this hands up, don't shoot no more. No. We're on that fist up, fist up, fist up. And why? Because every time we came with hands up, don't shoot, we came with elections, you know what they did? They shut down the ballot boxes. They came with guns to our synagogues. They came to our jobs and fired us. They took our land, our history, our cultures. My born name is Philip. That ain't African. That's all I'm saying. But it's these people like them, holding their American flags, dressed in ill-fitting riot gear, looking like you came out of RuneScape. These people, it is because of them and their ideology that they're somehow superior. That we must be here. And in this moment, I would like to point out, this moment, we've got almost every radical group in Philadelphia and further. Yo, we got witches here. Where my witches at? Where my witches at? Look, y'all, we even got a giant cat puppet somewhere. I don't know what the fuck that was about. But we have the numbers. Like Ted said before, we have the numbers. They have 4 flags, a snake, and again, that dude who looks like RuneScape. So, What's really important, though, isn't just the fact that we came out today. Today is great. Today is a victory. Count this as a big W, all right? But tomorrow, they'll still scurry back to the little rat holes, back to their Reddit groups, and try to make shit happen again. They will come back to Philly. This is their third or fourth time in Philly. They keep getting their asses kicked, but they will come back. That means we must come back, and not just out here with our fists stuck with the protests, because I love that shit, but out here ready to fight for our lives. Because it's not just them that's over there trying to kill us. It's also these dudes in these yellow jackets. It's also that bill in the Oval Office. It's also the Senate. It's also Congress trying to kill us. If it's not with their little role-playing ass shit going on here, it's through legislation. It's through the fact that they said, oh, you know, the people in South Dakota, they don't need clean water. We can fuck up their shit anyway. It's through the system itself. I came over here, there was a brother over here, he said, no, I'm not trying to fight the right. I'm trying to fight the fucking system. Because high-key, we're getting to a point where the right and the system might be the same goddamn thing. We're getting there. And I'm not here for it. I'm tired of having to wake up every morning and see that another black person has been shot in the street and not feeling anything anymore. Because honestly, we deserve better. We deserve better than a collective trauma so strong that it keeps us all in bed. We deserve better than this burning sensation of anger and rage every morning just because, hey, I get paid $12 an hour. We deserve better than knowing our water is tainted, but no one in our cities will do anything about it. We deserve better than having to come out on a Saturday in the fucking November to fight 12 fascists. We deserve better. You know what we deserve? You know what we deserve? We deserve liberation. We deserve freedom, actual freedom. Not freedom imported on bombs dropped on brown people that look like me. Not freedom exported to taking up lands from brown people that look like me, killing more brown people that look like me, killing more queer people that look like us, killing more people that are us. No, because once they stop, they run out of land, and they run out of land in Israel, and they blow up all of Syria. You know where they're coming? North Philly. I mean, they're already coming to North Philly. No, they're coming. Chicago, New York, Detroit. And so, what do we want though? What do we want though? What do we want though? No, I don't believe that shit. What do we want though? What do we want though? What do we want though? Don't fist up! No, you're weak. I said fist up! Fight back! 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 There we go.
Alright, so when the people are under attack, what do we do? When the workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When church people are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When the people are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Alright, brothers, sisters, comrades, and friends, give it up for yourself for fighting fascism and white supremacy! We brought out thousands, right? We brought out thousands today against the 25 white supremacists to say, Nazi scum off our streets! Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi scum
Off our streets!
Nazi
And with
scum
unicorn riot, we're here with
Nazi scum
from
Nazi scum
basically every activist group in Philly is out here today, and from beyond Philly to counter protest about folks out in California looking at what's developing on the border. We've been doing live broadcasts from that as well. So
all right, so let's give it up for the band.
We've also been updating.
Let's give it up for the band. I don't know how you thought about it, but coming to the protest, drums and your horns, this has been a powerful and really wonderful contribution, and we really thank you all for coming out today. We need that in our movement. We need that for our people. We need that to give us energy to continue to fight back against all these fascists and all this white supremacy. My name is Scott Williams. I'm with Workers' War Party, and I'm really glad to be here today amongst all of you. It is honestly a privilege to be speaking here today, and I want to say thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for taking this. We didn't know if we were going to be safe today, right? We didn't know coming here that we were going to be able to do this. And actually, when we got here, the cops tried to shut us down. Let's ask you real quick, who do you protect? Who do you serve? 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 Who do you protect? Who do you serve?
Who do you protect? Who do you serve?
Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve?
Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve?
Raise your hand if you know who Frank Rizzo is. And then turn that hand into a middle finger. Turn that hand into a middle fucking finger. Philadelphia is the home of its own fascist white supremacist gang, and it has a lot to do with a man named Frank motherfucking Rizzo. These cops are the modern embodiment of Frank Rizzo. They embody white supremacist fascism and terrorism towards people of color, right? It's the same terrorists who ran and killed and Lenape people who used to live here, right? For thousands and thousands of years. We're standing on stolen land. We say, no white supremacy on stolen land. Right? So, we come here, right in their face. All 25 of them are here. We got thousands. We're here to tell them, right? We are coming here because we want to tear down Frank Rizzo. We want to tear down white supremacy. We want to tear down all the racist history in the last 400 or 500 years of European colonialism that has brought to this continent, right? They embody the traditions of a group of white slave-owning men who created a constitution to defend their businesses. Right. We defend a tradition of people fighting back for our rights and for our freedom. And so, we say, there ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
All right, so real quick, guys, I love you all. We're going to give you a band in just 1 second. So, sorry. So, one thing. This week, I know a lot of you all voted for Jim Kenney, and that's all good. Well, this week we went to Jim Kenney's office, and we said, Jim, you're the mayor of this city. You need to protect the people of Philadelphia. Protect the people of Philadelphia. No Proud Boys. No white supremacist demonstrations. No unfettered police brutality. But guess what, Jim Kenney? You failed at everything about defending the people of Philadelphia. Shame on you, Jim Kenney. So, we say, Democratic Party, watch the fuck out. The people have no time for your bullshit. We are not what we want. We have no time for these cop-loving politicians. Jim Kenney is playing to his white supremacist base and defending the cops and all that they're going to do here today. Well, guess what? The real criminals here today are the people who bullied us when we got here. They're the people who obviously are protecting the white supremacists. They were here pushing over people left and right. We got here at 10 o'clock, right? We were here early. We wanted to stand our ground, right? Well, the cops kicked us the fuck out. and they took their bikes and they burned the shit out of us because they wanted to scare us into kind of slowing things down. And they arrested someone. Unfortunately, the cops don't arrest your own. Leave us alone. 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 Don't arrest your own. All right, so we know the mayor failed us, right? And we're going to keep showing up every single time white supremacists come to this town, and we're going to demand, I don't care if it's federal property, local property, I don't give a fucking shit. You got to step up and defend the people of Philadelphia. That's right. So, we know we are the ones who keep us safe. We are the ones who can fight back and defend our people.
Said I could put the
and
level
so with
up
that,
to there.
let's remind them one more time.
Yeah.
Nazi scum! Nazi scum! Go away! Nazi scum! Go away! Nazi scum! 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 I'm sorry, I confused all of you. How about Nazi scum off our streets? Nazi scum off our streets! 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 We also want to offer the chance, if you want to say something to these motherfuckers, we don't own this stage. This is our land. So if you want to say something to the people here, we invite you to come on up. Sister, would you like to say something? 1 second. So, in the meantime, racist, sexist, anti-gay, right-wing bigots, go away. 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 Welcomes racist groups like the Proud Boys, and we have nothing to say about it. So they want that news and national news to say, oh, we can come in a city like Philadelphia and we can rally and show how strong they are. My thing, when I was sitting on the executive board, I said, come meet us in North Philly. You understand? Don't come or meet us in South Philly. Meet us in West Philly. Meet us actually in Philadelphia. Don't come to the National Park Services where you got your permits and you have that protection and you're on this ground, because National Park is not Philadelphia. This belongs to National Park. So we said when they come, well, Michelle Obama says when they go low, we go high, but we're going to go higher than them because they are not welcome in our town, and wherever they are, we're going to be out here to protest because all this hate, all this racism, and all this ugliness that's going on, and we got real issues in this country, period. All these cop killings, all these murderers that are killing people. They can't even go to church. You can't go to synagogues. You can't even go to the store these days. So we got to come out, and it's worth us coming out on our days off, on our Saturdays. I know it's something December the 2nd. I'm getting a bus to go wherever they are with our union because we're union strong out here. It's a lot of us. We are union strong. The APW is standing with
however many groups are out here, we're going to stand with you, and it ain't over with. And it ain't over with yet. They're not going to come back. We're going to make it so that they are not going to come back here because they're not welcome in this city. And Mayor Kenny, I called the office like a lot of you, and he should have done more. He should have said more, and he should have pushed against it, against all of this. All this silence, it doesn't work. So don't be looking for us when it's time for re-election, because then we're going to be quiet too, just like he was quiet. So anyway, we want to stand up, fight back, 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 stand up, fight back. Thank you.
All right. Real quick, we got a couple chants for you. Let me hear you say union! All right, we got another chant that I think we like. So, it goes, Joe, where are you at? Philly is a union town, we're gonna take the Nazis down. Philly is a union town, we're gonna take the Nazis down. Philly is a union town, we're gonna take the Nazis down. Philly is a union town, we're gonna take the Nazis down. Philly is a union town, we're gonna take the Nazis down. Philly is a union town, we're gonna take the Nazis down. Philly is a union town, we're gonna take the Nazis down. All right, let's go. Next up, real quick, we're gonna have Sarah Flounders, one of the directors of the International Action Center. Give it up for Sarah!
Nazi scum off our streets!
Nazi scum off our streets!
Nazi scum off our streets! Nazi scum off our streets! Nazi scum off our streets! You know that pitiful little group off our streets? That pitiful little group carrying a few red, white, and blue rags, which stand for U.S. war and imperialism all over the world, and stand for racism and sexism and homophobia right here. That's what they're carrying. And why do they need lines and lines and lines of cops? Wow, why? Because there are hundreds and hundreds of people here, and they're socialists, they're anarchists, they're union activists, they're women, they're LGBTQ and trans, gender non-conforming. It's all the people united. It's black and immigrant and refugee. And this group across the street, they need the cops. Damn straight they need the cops. Because they wouldn't be there behind those barricades without hundreds of cops. Now, why are they still a danger, though? I mean, it's such a small handful. It's irrelevant, right? There are a lot of folks that say, oh, don't bother with them. They're not important. But the media and Trump and all the powerful forces make them important. They inflate their message. They push it out again and again. They give them a big platform. And if we're not out here strong with a much bigger people platform, then it's only their message that's heard. And their message, that poison, it seeps in. That poison, it's like a gas, a noxious gas. It spreads. It chokes us. So our resistance and our unity of all the forces out here today, this is a real people coalition. It's a people's coalition, and we gotta also talk about the refugee caravan, because they're talking about it with racism, and they're trying to whip it up when they say they're out here with the cops and with ICE and for guns and for violence. That's a message we gotta shut down. We gotta shut down the Nazi message, because those Nazis aren't acting alone.
No, they're acting with the police, they're acting with the media, they're acting with Trump, they're acting with the cops right here in Philadelphia and with ICE. But all of that can be pushed back, just like it's being pushed back right here today. Right here today. This makes a big difference. If that was the only voice, it's the only thing you'd see. But we really showed that people united will never be defeated.
People united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Give it up for our band one more time. We got music. We got music. We got speakers. They look bored over there. I think they're getting ready to go home. They're getting tired. We're not going anywhere. These are our streets. Whose streets?
Our streets!
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 Whose city?
Our streets!
Whose city?
Our cities!
Whose city?
Our city!
Whose city?
Our city! Our city!
I gotta tell everybody, if you didn't hear earlier, or if you weren't here when we first came out, we were across the street. We were ready to tell them exactly what we think. The police violently attacked our protest and pushed us onto this side of the street. Some of our people were assaulted by the police. And we need to understand that the police are here to protect white supremacy.
Not us.
They're not here to protect us. The only people who can protect us is us.
It's us.
The only people who can protect us is us. That's why we're here today. Now on Wednesday, a group of us went to the mayor's office. We went to go pay a visit to Mayor Kenny. Well, he wasn't there, they said. He was a little busy. He didn't want to talk to us about how there is a Nazi rally, we said, happening in our city on Saturday. These Proud Boys, these killers, these racist killers, they're coming to our city, we said to Mayor Kenny. We said, could you at least condemn it? We understand it's a federal permit, but this is your city. It's federal land, but they need to walk through Philadelphia to get on that federal land. This is our town. We're not just worried about what they were doing here. We were worried about what they were going to do before and after. We said, Mayor Kenny, at least condemn them. He refused to even issue a statement. We just wanted him to stand in the podium and say, yeah, well, we don't want them here. He refused to do it. He failed to protect us. But that's okay, because the only people who can protect us is us. Whose streets?
Our streets!
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 Yeah, I want to welcome up anybody who wants to come speak. I'm going to bring... Please. Yeah?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Give it up!
Proud Boys go
If you lift it up, it makes a big difference back here. When it gets lifted up, it makes a big difference.
Peace, y'all. Peace. How y'all feeling? My name is Ed. I'm from Philly Road Justice. I got here a little late, so I apologize if anything is a little redundant. But I want to speak about the reality of white supremacy and what its current state is, right? By the time we get to the point where we're rallying around people like this, it's already becoming too late. Once we are coming out to events like this, it is already becoming too late. Because the way white supremacy operates is in policy. So you don't need to see people out here to condemn this. You condemn the policies and the way it socializes itself before we get to this point. White supremacy already exists in the policy when police kick homeless people out from trying to get food around 7-Eleven. Or conduct stop and frisk regularly in North Philly. White supremacy already exists and it perpetuates itself this way already. So by the time we coming out here, it's already proven itself to exist. You don't gotta go to Virginia to see the Confederacy, go to the fucking Poconos. You don't gotta go too far. And Pennsylvania don't got nothing to do with the Confederacy. So if you know they're waving the flag, they're waving it for one reason.
Hey man, you're in my
it's
shot.
because they support the structure of white supremacy.
That's okay, I do it too. So.
And when you see the police, it's because they're out here supporting the structure of white supremacy.
I can back it up a little bit, give you a little more.
Whenever you see the Klan or Confederate... Hold on, we got a Proud Boy over here. We got a Proud Boy over here.
Stop throwing shit or the cops are gonna charge you.
Look, here's an example right here. The first thing he ran was
So it looks like someone from the far right rally is getting escorted out.
the number one critique of those spaces is here running for the police. If you didn't talk to come over here and do what you come to do, get the fuck out. Hey, solidarity from New York. Those two fuckers were docs. They were out in action. Recently, they attacked 3 of our comrades. Women, queers, people of color. They sent them to the fucking hospital. They don't belong here. Tell them to get the fuck out. Who do you say? Who do you say? You're speaking in tongues. Who do you say? Who do you say? The association. Who do you say? Social years of Socialist Party in Japan. Who do you say? He is inciting violence. And they acted violent afterwards. And they attacked us. So get them the fuck out of here. Thank you. Thank you, Billy. This has been a huge morale boost.
You just like escort them?
So you see these cowards function in the same way as the police do. Right?
So this guy you can see, sorry the zoom's a little shaky, he was like an attendee of the Proud Boys rally that showed up at the counter protest and basically got kicked out of the crowd. Looks like he's trying to make a police report now.
Violence. Self-defense is common sense.
Where'd he go?
Self-defense.
He's in the huddle with those civil affairs cops over there. The civil affairs guys have the orange armbands.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Very specifically.
Indian guy.
That once we are out here, it is because white supremacy has already manifested in the worst version of itself. Because the policies already protect white supremacy. The only reason why they come out here is because they feel safe. They come out here and say the police got my back, I'm gonna be alright. So, the union between you white racists, the police, the KKK, Mayor Kenny, and our weak Democratic politicians, I got a little chant for y'all. And it goes, the pigs in my hood.
Ain't no good.
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 So don't arrest me.
Arrest the police.
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 The pigs in my hood.
Ain't no good.
The pigs in my hood.
Ain't no good.
The pigs in your hood.
Ain't no good.
The pigs in your hood.
Ain't no good.
So don't arrest me.
Arrest the police.
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 Thank you. Right. everyone! Oh, man. I'm Cody. I'm from Workers' World Party in the International Action Center. Woo! I just want to say real quick before I say anything, you all look so beautiful. You're all so beautiful. This is so goddamn beautiful. I want to cry right now looking at all of you. I might just shed a few tears. I'm sorry. I can't help it. But just a quick round of applause for all of you. Come on! It's, you know, I thought about writing so I didn't know what to say, so I'm just going to speak from my heart. You know, I think it's real ironic that the band just played the Imperial March, you know, because this fascist movement is something that isn't delinked from capitalism or imperialism. In fact, imperialism is the heart of this fascist, disgusting movement. A fascist is not always a Klansman. It's not always a Proud Boy. It's not even always these pigs out here in uniform who love to protect them. Fascism is something that our country, this nation, outsources on a daily basis to the entirety of the global south. What's happening right now, and we like to talk about a fascism that's homegrown, it's a Euro-American phenomenon. That's not true. Fascism is something that's happening in Brazil right now, where they want to destroy the indigenous people there. They want to destroy LGBT rights. They want to burn Afro-Brazilians in the streets. And this happens because our government puts these people in power. It's horrible. And now we talk about blowback. We see fascists in the street and we create this problem. We have to fight white supremacy in its totality. It's not, you know, these marches are great and these rallies are great. And it, like I said, I want to cry looking at this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. But we can't just come out here and rally and, you know, be a reaction to them. We need to build the organization that is so big and so powerful and so united that these, not only do the fascists not come out, but the police don't think to come out here. We need to make them all scared of us because we have the numbers, like my comrade said earlier, that great chant. I love it to death, and I love all of you. I just love everything about this. But thinking about everything we gotta do, we gotta have a movement that attacks the entirety of white supremacy. We need a movement that attacks imperialism, colonialism, sexism, ableism. We need to attack not only the symptoms of fascism, but we gotta go after the root. And we're not going to moralize liberally about it anymore. We're not going to vote for Democrats anymore. We're going to take power into our own hands. And I'm going to give you all a little bit of homework. I'm sorry, I know it sucks. But we have a job to do. And it starts with ruining the lives of these motherfuckers across the street. Let's see who you are who came out today. So what you're all going to do, you're going to take pictures. You're going to plaster their faces everywhere. If they got a job by next Saturday, I want them fucking unemployed. If they got an apartment, I want their ass on the street by next Saturday. If they got a fucking wife, I want their ass divorced by next Saturday. I want the shit we possess. I want them to fucking suffer. Like Heather suffered.
The children adopted too.
Exactly. God damn it. We can't just come out here. We gotta make it hell for these people. And I'd love to just run over there and dump their fucking books right now. But we're insidious. We're a movement. We are the people. And God damn it, you're not coming back out here ever again. We're gonna make goddamn sure of that. I'm out.
We're gonna let the band play a bit here, because they've been anxious. And we're gonna go with the classic chant that you've been doing for probably the last 2 years. We'll do that while they're playing. Okay, so it goes like this. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump,
Go back to the 1800s.
We brought out so many movements, so many organizations, so many people. Go ahead, give yourself a shout out. If you're with an organization, I just want you to yell it as loud as you can.
Are you serious?
Black Alliance for Peace! Nobody. Okay.
Y'all should probably face the people who have the mental health issues because they dress like the 1800s.
Okay, yeah, real quick. Let's get it going a little bit before we get started. Back up, we want our freedom, freedom. Tell those racists has come.
Freedom, freedom.
Back up, we want our freedom. Tell these racists has come.
Freedom.
Back up, we want our freedom, freedom. Tell these racists has come.
Freedom.
So sorry about your train, whatever it is. Some 1800s hate shit. Good for you.
It's almost embarrassment at this point, really. I don't even know what to try to do at this point. You might as well just go ahead and save yourself the answer. Anyway, so congratulations to clearly outnumbering them and completely embarrassing them. But what I was going to say is that recently I've been getting a lot of people that have been coming up to ask me, they go, Tom, you're white, why do you come out to marches and look like Black Lives Matter or anti-racism or whatever? And there's one reason. It's because injustice done to one is injustice that's done to everybody. It doesn't matter if it's against you or me or her or him, it doesn't matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we need to squash that immediately. From the get-go, we need to let them know immediately. Because the minute they get away with it, it's starting to get too late. The only way that we can move forward is as a community and as a people. And the only way we can do that is if we unite together, if we communicate together, if we help each other, we reach out to each other, we talk to each other, we push forward together. That's the only way to move forward. We all breathe the same blood. There's no reason for division. And what I was going to say is that I can't not come out to things like this because one day I hope to have kids in the future and I cannot let my kids grow up in a world like this. I cannot look at them and tell them, when they ask me what did I do to make things better, I can't look at them and say nothing. I can't do that. When I look at the world, I fight to make it a better place, not just for me, but for all of you and for our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids. I came out here today not just to express my opinion, but to make a change, to meet some people, and to let them know that they are not allowed here ever again. There's a fine line between free speech and hate speech, and we need to let them know that right now that they are not welcome. Not now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, not ever.
Yeah.
So every time you come out, you will be outnumbered. Every single time. I don't understand. All of us here, us, them, we're all working class, middle class people. Why are we on two different sides of the fence? I don't get it. Because we understand what's actually happening. We understand it's not immigrants. Immigrants are not the problem. We understand welfare recipients are not the problem. We understand the government and the 1% and the people in power, they are the problem. That is the problem. And we need to stand together and fight against that. There is no black, white versus male versus female or whatever. It comes down to right versus wrong. And we're clearly on the right side of history. And we need to move forward on the right side of history. There is no time to stay neutral in times of oppression. Because if you stay neutral in times of oppression, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. I think we've all come out today to make it very clear that we stand against oppression, that we stand against hatred, that we stand against racism, bigotry, sexism, classism. We came out today to make that clear. And I am honestly, incredibly proud to see that so many people came out today just to unite under that same message. Every walk of life possible. I am genuinely proud to see that. So thank you all for coming out today. Shout out to the organizers, shout out to the band, and shout out to all you guys for coming out today. Thank you. All right. No hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hate, no fear.
Refugees are welcome here.
No hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hate, no fear.
Refugees are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here.
No hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here.
No fear.
Refugees are welcome here. No fear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Refugees are welcome here. No hate, no fear.
Refugees are welcome here. No fear. Refugees are welcome here. No fear. Refugees are welcome here.
We're at 12:45 right now. Let's try to do a recap in like 5 minutes.
I want to say real quick, we are intending to be here until they leave. That is our goal. We want to make sure the city is safe, and we want to make sure these Nazis go home. And so we're going to wait here. It seems like we still have about 100 times more people than them. And we're going to stay here, maybe 200 times, I don't know. But we have a lot more people, and we're going to stay here and keep going. So if you want to say something to the people or to them, come up here and let us know. All right? So next up, we're going to have a Santua from the Green Party. Oh, not the Green Party. With Black Alliance for Peace. Give it up for a Santua. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Asantua Nkrumah, and I'm a dues-paying member of Black Alliance for Peace. Right now, as we speak, in Ireland, there's an international conference going on against U.S. military and U.S. military bases. This year also marks the 10th anniversary of AFRICOM. Basically, that just means the U.S. imperialist military is stationed throughout the continent of Africa. And that should not be happening given the history of colonialism in Africa. But real quickly, what I want to say is, first of all, thank you to the organizers of this rally. Yay! Secondly, for those of us here and who are not here, let's continue to organize over and beyond today. Let's continue to organize our ongoing political education so that we can be well informed on how to combat our enemy over there across the street, enemies other places. Real quickly though, I want to say for those of us who are here and we're taking a stand against white supremacy and racism, we cannot stop there. We must also be against all forms of U.S. imperialist wars, wherever they are. We must take a stand against the U.S. military and their cooperation with police departments across this country and how they use U.S. military-grade weapons against us and our communities, particularly black and brown communities. If you're going to take a stand against racism, take a stand against police terrorism, police brutality, and take a stand against the U.S. military. They are all connected. For the conference going on in Ireland right now, I would invite you to look it up on the internet, do some research on the many groups that are over there right now, and let's keep organizing and let's build people's power
And let's not be deterred. Thank you. Thank you. It's time to give it up. All right, so now I kind of, in my dreams, these cop cars would be here to take these other people from across the street away. And take them over to the roundhouse and take care of them, right? But I don't, this is not a dream, and I realize we live in basically Trump's, country, a country that was founded on settler colonialism and genocide and racism, and has that deeply ingrained, right? And that's why they're flying these kind of stars and stripes, is because in some ways they're embodying the values of white supremacy. And we want to expose the real history of this country, the real people who built this country, the real people who suffered in this country. And of course, we're trying to uplift all of those people so we can build solidarity and unite and build an entirely new government. We want to go into Independence Hall and write a new constitution that defines all the rights of humanity, right? The right to everything that people need, right? This is a wealthy country in a wealthy world. We can make everyone in the world's lives so much better if we go ahead and rewrite the Constitution and have a revolutionary change in society. And today, this is the unity that it will take to do that, right? So someday I look forward to seeing you all soon. We'll go into Independence Hall and we'll rewrite that damn thing, all right? All right, so, real quick, next up, we are going to have Michelle. All right, come on, Michelle.
I just want to speak on behalf of a lot of the older folks in the group. First of all, I'm so proud of the younger folks that are here. You are our only hope. I'm also speaking on behalf of my parents. My father was French, my mother American. They both worked for the American government, and they fought the Nazis. They fought long and hard. My grandfather was killed by the Nazis. And I just want to tell you that this is not okay. We don't want history to repeat itself. Those people are inhumans, and they should not be allowed to continue. But we do have the First Amendment, so we've got to let them speak, even though I know, I'm not... freedom of speech. I don't want the Nazis to speak, but they're allowed to because of our country. Otherwise, we couldn't speak either. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say there's history here, and Nazis should not be in our land. They should not be here. I don't care what color we are, what creed we are, or no creed. We all belong here, and it's all about truth and justice. And yes, we will continue to fight. Some of us will fight differently than the rest of you, in our own way. But continue the fight, because we cannot let this happen in our country. So on behalf of the older folks here, thank you! All
right. Hell yeah. Nazi scum! Off our streets! 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 All right, next up. Real quick. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Child of Lilith, with my fellow children of Lilith, with Witch, New Jersey, and a shout out to Witch, Philadelphia. Amen. We have done a protection spell on today for us. We have done a binding here today for us, and we'd like your help doing our banishing today. Okay. So I'm going to do a chant. I will start slow. Please participate. For those of you who can see, it is on this sign. We banish hate, no rest its fate. 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 We banish hate, no rest
question you've been asking for a long time.
Yo, what up? What up, Philly? What's up? First of all, I want to give a shout out to my brother, Leroy. I've known this man for over 20 years. Secondly, I saw George W. Bush, that motherfucking war criminal, be given an award for helping veterans. Newsflash, there wouldn't be veterans if that motherfucker didn't invade Iraq. I thought that shit was the greatest disgrace I would see in Philly. Not that motherfucker behind bars, but the establishment sucking his dick. But no! I was wrong. That wasn't the greatest disgrace I'd see in Philly. No, it didn't even take that long. It wouldn't even take that long because these motherfuckers are waiting for another crystal meth to happen. Well, I got something to say as a proud Jew. I've seen you motherfuckers in my YouTube comments. I got a story statement to remind myself that I am in the same motherfucking boat as everyone else. I ain't got no white privilege, and I want to throw that privilege away to stand with all you, my brothers and sisters. Come on! Secondly, I got something to say to the proud bitches over there. If you think anyone, any Jew, any black person, any Native American, any Latin American is gonna stand there and wait for you to beat us down, I got something to say. Fist up, fight back! This ain't motherfucking 30s Germany. Yes. This is 2018 America, and I am a Jew. My grandfather smuggled guns to fucking Israel. So you know what else I got to fucking say right now? Well, agree to disagree on that, but hey, I'm for a two-state solution. For a two-state solution, I'm for that. I agree. Long story short, if these Proud Boys think that there's going to be another crystal meth, bring it the fuck on. Because we ain't going down that easily again. We know what happens when you motherfuckers beat us down. And we ain't afraid anymore. We are woke and we will fucking break you. So come at us and see what the fuck happens.
All right. Let's go. We got the energy. Everyone's bringing the energy and the love, and that's good. So, yeah, let's go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, from Palestine to Mexico, from Palestine to Mexico. Hey, keep going, man. I love that shit. All right, first off, viva, viva Palestina! 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 I'm gonna let it rock for a second. Hold on. Hey, so I wanted to go on and say something real quick. Before when I spoke, there was like maybe 9 of them motherfuckers over there. Now, there might be, there's 10, no. But no, all joking aside, they multiplied. We're seeing there's some people on this side, on our left here, that are leaving. We can't have that shit. Because if we leave, and they show up late to their own rally, and they call out, like, say, we all CP time, that's racist as fuck. Anyway, but if they show up late to their own rally, and we're not here, we failed. That W goes to an L, and we don't take L's in this city, all right? We don't take no L's in the city.
Alright? So, what we gotta do, I know it sucks, but we gotta stay out in this cold. You gotta, grab some water, go to the bathroom, come back, eat some snacks, I don't know, but set up shop, because if these Nazis not gonna leave, I guess we gotta stay. That's right. Yeah. I'm just saying. And giants and to the cops, look, your job can be so easy. Just move, we'll fuck them up, we can all go home, it'll be alright. And if you don't move, eventually we'll move you, alright? So, viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Fist up! Fist up!
Fight back!
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 Yeah!
The 7-Nation Army. Now, y'all been here all day. You want to say something? Please come talk to us, all right? Next up, we're going to hear from Ian from Real Justice. He's going to lay it down again. Peace, y'all, peace. Real quick, I really need to reiterate this once again, right? Because us coming out here and addressing these idiots over here is cool, it's solid. This is very necessary. But what we need to be very aware of are the policies and the socialization that allows this to occur. Yes. I want us to be very clear on being politically educated and understand where we stand before we have to get to this point. If we destroy the concepts and the ideas and the policies that go into place, we don't got to come here and worry about whipping some weirdo white asshole that argue on YouTube every day. We don't got to worry about that shit if we handle it at its roots in the first place.
Assholes!
Right. The real gotcha is, though, the real issue is that tuber. Right. Right. But the real gotcha is, the real shit is, those weirdos, their uncles and their aunts run companies, right? And their family members are police officers, and they serve in the military. So these sociopaths that are out here have real structural power that affects our lives every day. And the people who have the ability to come out here all the time are affected by those policies. So when we come out here, our real fight is to fight for the people that can't come out here. But we don't have to keep doing it if we attack the issues at its root. Yes. These assholes don't even got to come out here because the police do their job for them. Yes. Stop and frisk is a real racist white supremacy policy. Yes. You want to talk about socialization? Every statue in this area is a person who owns slaves. Yes. That's real socialization. They don't even got to be out here because Philadelphia basks in that history. Yes. There's a fucking statue of fake Rizzo in the middle of the city.
Fuck fake Rizzo!
Facts.
Tear it down! Take it
So I don't care what.
Take it down! 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 Take it down!
These type of people are the same type of dickheads that march in the Mummers Parade in blackface. Right? And that shit happens every year. Because we are not addressing how this shit starts. The Mummers Parade has been going on for years.
Fuck the Mummers!
You don't gotta come here to see some dickheads, you could go to the Mummers Parade. Right? So the way this shit occurs is because we take too long in addressing it. And now we gotta get physical because they feel safe enough to take that stupid ass YouTube comment and come out here. because it has become socially acceptable. So we must attack this shit at its root on every single level. And I don't give a fuck if your politician's a Democrat or Republican. They all go hand in hand with white supremacy. There is no middle ground with stopping white supremacy. If you say it's not cool, or you cool with it. So Mayor Kenny didn't say no, so he said yes. I don't give a fuck what he say now. And he didn't say they can't come here, and he said they can come here. That goes for him and all them weak-ass city council members.
Come on.
They weak as shit. The reason why Democrats don't win, not because people don't vote, even though people don't vote, because people don't give a fuck about the system. But Democrats don't vote because they weak as shit. And they never stand on the side of the black, brown, and poor. That's why they lose. Tell them, man. So it is our job to create a new political agenda that says we will defend the most vulnerable at all times. Because we know your city council members not going to do it, Mayor Kenny not going to do it, these weak-ass pigs not going to do it. No. We got to do it. And start at its root. That's it, y'all. Thank you. All right. So, when we got here this morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, we saw the first Nazi I saw had some sign that just had 3, like, Roman numerals, right? The 3%ers. Have you anybody heard of that group, the 3%ers? Those are some scary, ugly, nasty motherfuckers, right? Those people threatened that if Stacey Abrams became the governor of Georgia, they threatened to go shoot up the state of Georgia, right? That is some old Klan violence. We know they got many different names of all these different organizations, right? They got the Proud Boys. They're kind of like a more popular version of a fascist Nazi, right? They're trying to pretend that we have they're more diverse or some shit. But we know it's all men who are, you know, organizing really consciously to build a fascist, violent movement, to terrorize people of color, to terrorize people who are fighting back for their rights. They want to bring us back 200-300 years, right? So we're going to say absolute, what do we say to them? Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets.
Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets.
And we got an interesting development here. Perhaps you see the mounted police horses, right? Now every year the Philadelphia Police Department spends hundreds of millions of our dollars on shit like this, where they are literally all they're doing is defending the Nazis. Actually, I'm sorry. This looks good, but this could create a problem for us.
Okay, that's a good point.
I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna say that the Philadelphia Police Department. We were totally with you. The Philadelphia Police Department, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars spent on this crazy militarized police force. Meanwhile, we don't have money for schools. We don't have money for potholes. We don't have money for anything, right? We don't have money for SEPTA. It gets shittier every year, and it gets more expensive, right? Fuck that. We got nothing. So we are demanding that the city defund the police, take the money away from the police, and give it back to the people. And the way it's things that we need. They don't need police helicopters over our protests. They don't need hundreds of fucking horses. No. That's animal abuse.
Get those animals off those horses!
Get those animals off those horses! Get those animals off those horses! Get those animals off those horses! Get those animals off those horses! Get those animals off those horses!
Get those animals off those horses!
Get those animals off those horses! We also know very clearly that many of the cops are actually members of organizations like the Proud Boys. We know that back during the Democratic National Convention, we saw a police officer with a gigantic swastika and also a giant Nazi logo on his arm, right? And guess what? That guy is still a fucking cop. He got shot. He's still a cop.
He works at the Naval Yard.
He's still a cop in the Naval Yard, right? We know that white supremacist organizations go into the military and go into the police to get their training, skills to build this militia that they believe will defend this fucking Constitution. Well, guess what? Fuck your Constitution. And get the fuck out of here. We got way more people than you'll ever have in your fascist militia. So, we're to keep the people organized, right? Even 7,000 police officers are nothing for 1.5 million Philadelphians saying, get the fuck out of here, right? We have the power of the people, we have the power of the numbers, and we need to organize and keep building, keep uniting, and keep fighting. And that's what you all have done here today, and we really applaud you all for coming out, despite the threat of violence. Next up, it's Corey. Next up, we're going to have Corey from the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Right on, thank you so much, thank you so much. Yeah, you know, I just want to reiterate what's been said. So yeah, look at them, it's pathetic over there. There's a few people over there. We're in capitalist, white supremacist America. And look, they can't get anybody to come out for them. This is capitalist America, white supremacist country, right on this spot where the Constitution was created to keep suppressing working class people, to keep slavery going. This is the spot they created it, and they can't get anybody to come out there for it. Time and time again, they try to organize people around fascism, around white supremacy, and we know that that is not the answer to working class people's problems. Working class people know that unity is the answer to our problems. Progressive politics, socialism is the answer to our problems. We've proven it time and time again. We're not falling for the bullshit. Working class people are not falling for it. White supremacy has always been the project of the capitalist class. It will continue to be the project of the capitalist class, and we will continue to oppose it.
Amen.
This is a beautiful celebration of the people today. When they do their little pathetic protests, it just gives us an opportunity to come out and reaffirm our unity with each other. They're getting pushed back where they belong. We will continue to push them back. We will continue to struggle to meet our needs. We will continue to struggle for socialism. And they're going to continue to be upset that they're marginalized because the people reject the pathetic messages of hate and division.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and all power to the people.
Yes.
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the
Power of the people don't stop. Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop.
Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Right. Let's let the band play. All right, next up we're gonna have Marissa. So speak. Give us the power, Marissa.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming out, especially my white people. Thank you so much for coming out and helping to stamp out oppression, helping to stamp out imperialism, helping to stamp out racism, helping to stamp out poverty, helping to stamp out homophobia, anti-gay, anti-trans views. I love you all. And like, what's the guy's name? I don't even know his name, but like he said, we have to constantly unlearn oppression. We have to constantly unlearn domination and colonization. The key is decolonization constantly. Help everyone. I carry 21s on me every day just to give to the homeless. Help. Okay, it's about humanity. It's about love for one another. And fuck the cops. You cannot be afraid. You cannot be afraid. I'm telling you, fuck the cops, man. They are railroading our black asses
country, they don't have to be afraid. They don't have to be scared. But they don't have to worry about bullshit. Thank you. And fuck Trump.
Cops and Klan go hand in hand. 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 Cops and Klan. All right. Thank you, thank you. We're not going anywhere until they decide to go home. Okay. Next up, we're gonna have Tim. Come on up. Tim. Hey, comrades. Holy crap, all backgrounds. There's so many of you. I gotta hand it to all the guys over here with the brass. You guys are excellent. Keep it up. Also, shout out to all the bootlickers and class traders across the street over there. Oh man, kiss it.
You got it.
You got this.
Breathe.
We're here for you.
It's, you know, you gotta look around and you see over there, there's what, maybe 100 people. We got 10 times that easily. And the best way you fight fascism, you fight fascism because you can't be quiet and ignore it. That's not how it goes away. It doesn't go away. It festers and it grows like a rotten corruption. The way you beat fascism is by drowning them out. Yeah, we live in a country with free speech, and they have it. We have it too.
Amen.
We beat them by drowning out their hate. Thank you. Right. Now, it's come to our attention that they're leaving very slowly, maybe in ones and twos. It did not show that they're all leaving at the same time. But either way, we'll have the same message. Nazi scum off our streets!
Nazi scum off our streets! Nazi scum off our streets! Nazi scum off our streets!
Nazi scum
off our streets!
Nazi scum
off our streets!
Nazi scum
off our streets!
Nazi scum
off our streets!
Nazi scum
off our streets! Nazi scum off our streets! Nazi
Off our streets! Nazi scum! Off our streets! Nazi scum! Nazi scum!
As most of the black folks up here have reiterated, one of the names, my man used the word class enemy, class traitor, one of our main class traitors, the predominant class traitor, is the police department. The biggest enemy of black and brown poor people. Right? So, I think it's time for a very blatant, very undeniable, unmistakable, I know exactly what they're talking about, chant about the police. Right? Can't be mistaken, right? No justice!
No peace!
No racist!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No racist!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace! Take it to the streets!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace! Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
Take it to the streets and fuck the police!
We gonna take it to the street!
Fuck the police!
We gonna take it to the street!
Fuck the police!
1, 2, 3!
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 Fuck the police!
We gonna take it to the street!
Fuck the police!
We gonna take it to the street!
Fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
No peace!
fuck the police. No justice, no peace, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. We're gonna take it to the streets and fuck the police. We're gonna take it to the streets and fuck the police. 1, 2, 3, fuck the police. We're gonna take it to the streets and fuck the police. 1, 2, 3, fuck the police. We're gonna take it to the streets, fuck the police. I said 1, 2, 3, fuck the police. We're gonna take it to the streets and fuck the police. Give it up, yes, that's They bring 25 fascists. We bring all of our friends, everybody we know, coming out 2,000 people at least to say, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of Philly.
That's how we do it in Philly. They all know that. Now, it's also kind of surprising, why didn't they bring sound? Why didn't they bring a band, right? They got nothing. And that's because we have the power, we're organized, we're here, this is our city, right? Next time we're going to hear from Steph. Steph's going to give us even more power and energy. Thanks, Steph.
All right, great to be back at the mic. Last time I was here, there was about 6 of them. Shame to see more show up, but they look tired. Far more tired than us. Wow, they're so damn weak. Cowards. In any sense, I want to bring it to our attention that we're all standing before the National Constitution Center. What a piece of work is the American Constitution. A so-called document of the people. And yet, there is more power in this crowd for our people than in all of that Constitution. That document means nothing to us. That document protects them, protects their parents, who own the gas companies, and who are your landlords, and who funnel racist politicians who try to bring fascism through the front door of our Congress. That's who that Constitution is for. We don't need that shit. We don't need to give them their freedom of speech. We don't need to give them any of that shit. We're 1,000 times more powerful than them, not only in numbers, but in resolve, in love for our class, in solidarity with each other. We have everything they lack. Everything which makes them weak and cowardly and leads them to hide behind the pigs. We have it all. We can take them. We're more powerful than they'll ever be. And we are coming for them. We're coming for them. This is not the end. This is nothing. The next time they're in our city, we're going to run them right the fuck out. You won't see them coming near Philadelphia. You won't see them coming near New York. We're going to run them out of every fucking city in this country. That's about all I've got to say. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we can't get it, shut it down. 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 And now my favorite chant I've heard today. We've got the numbers. 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 Now, wow, the band. All right. Now, they think because they have the president, right? They think because the president is actually organizing fascists, organizing white supremacists, encouraging them to attack us. This week, President Trump encouraged fascists to attack what he calls Antifa. Now, who here loves Antifa? Right? Right. Now, Trump is calling for attacks on us. But guess who carried that out this morning? The Philadelphia Police Department
Department loyally following the president. The president is the top cop in the whole country, right? He runs the military, he runs the FBI, he runs the CIA, he runs all those terrorist organizations that have their offices actually in this building here, the federal building. Now, the president, his orders to the Philadelphia Police Department essentially are to knock these motherfuckers out. Send them to jail. And guess what, motherfucker? President Trump, we don't believe you at all. We think all you have to do is organize fascism and white supremacy. You're elected by racism, and guess what? We're going to tear your ass down by building an anti-racist, anti-fascist movement. Yeah! We're not about just electing Democrats. We're not about building any politicians. We're about building a people's movement that can shut down U.S. imperialism, that can shut down U.S. wars all over the world. We also know that the United States is funding fascism globally. Whether in Brazil, in Venezuela, in Colombia, in Saudi Arabia, in Israel, and well beyond, the United States is a supporter of global fascism across the world. Whether it's President Obama or President Trump, the foreign policy of the United States is basically the same as the policy of the Philadelphia Police Department this morning, right? It's all one policy of repression, of division, and of power, of kind of violence towards people's movement. Today, we're saying, fuck no. We're not going to stand for that. And so, as we're going to keep this power and this rally going, and next up, I want to hear, we're going to hear from Joe. All right, Joe, go up.
They have a fucking army of cops out here. Because they say we're violent and we're dangerous. First of all, you want violence, wait until you get the fucking guillotine back. In the world, people fucking die.
Hey, stand over there. I thought I recognized you. Good to meet you, man.
Because they don't have the money for a place to live. Being rich is an act of fucking violence. Murders children with fucking flying robots. Being an agent of this government is an act of violence. My daughter murdered for wearing hoodies. Being a fucking pig is an act of violence. These buildings, buy and sell any one of us. Being a rich piece of shit is an act of fucking violence. If you want violence, you fucking started it. Alright, great.
No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA!
No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Proud Boys, no KKK, no fascist USA! No Proud Boys, no KKK, no fascist USA!
Oh, my friends! I want to tell you about, we had speakers now talking about the imperialist crimes of this country. About the bombs that are dropped on people in Yemen, in Syria, in increasingly the fascist actions in Brazil, in Venezuela. Well, let me remind you that the Philadelphia police carried out an airstrike on West Philly. They tried to destroy the MOVE organization, which is alive. It is alive today. Free Lamia! Brick by brick, wall by wall. Free Mumia Abu Jamal. Brick by brick, wall by wall. Free Mumia Abu Jamal. Wall by wall. Free Mumia Abu Jamal. So I want to tell you, if you think it's bad now, let's remember that probably the most oppressed sector of the working class are our brothers and sisters and siblings who are in prison cells right now. 2.2 million of them. These are our prisoner siblings who are fighting that Constitution that Seth was talking about. And so when we march here, we are doing so also in solidarity with our friends and siblings beyond and behind bars. And one day they will be free, because we say free Mumia! We say free the Move 9! And we say free them all! 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 That's all I got to say.
Hey, comrades. I'm Mike Wilson. I'm with the Workers' World Party here in Philadelphia. I just want to speak a minute to this so-called invasion coming our way from the south.
Excuse me, sorry.
It's a natural fact that most poor people, no matter how poor they are, they stay right where they are, and they stay poor where they are. It takes a whole lot to get people on the move. And you're talking about moving people 3,000 miles. Many of them people moving on foot. So how do you even get to the point where you can destabilize people to move like that?
Come on.
It's got to be a war. It's got to be a lack of water. It's got to be a lack of food. It's got to be a lack of something.
Tell them, right? Yes.
Tell them, Mike. Now, most of these people live right where they are for thousands of years. What makes them want to move?
No, come on.
But of thousands towards this border, or some bullshit they want our freedoms. I come from West Philly. You can't get me to move to South Philly, and I've been pulling my damn leg. Now I'm supposed to move 3,000 miles to come up here to be arrested, to have my children snatched from me,
come on,
to have a madman Coop and all his people who's with him just detain us and lock us up like we're pigs, like we're dogs.
Shame.
I'm gonna move 3,000 miles for that? No, people get on the move for a reason. Maybe we should ask the CIA, what the hell you do to those people down there to make them move? That's what it comes down to. Now Donald Trump gonna move the 82nd Airborne. How brave! We moved the 82nd Airborne down there to shoot poor people.
Come on.
Shame.
To shoot poor people trying to come across the fence. He wants to shoot Mexicans. Where far I'm concerned, anybody from Mexico who comes across the fence, they belong the hell over here. It was their fence from the beginning. It's their goddamn land. Who's the illegal alien? I'm still trying to figure that shit out. This is a bunch of bullshit. Do not buy into that. I ain't got nothing against anybody down there. Boy, if we bust them up here, give them some money, give them some food, feed them, do something for them. I ain't got nothing against them.
Come on.
You know who I got something against? Jeff Bezos. I got a whole lot against him. Donald Trump and all the rest of them rich motherfuckers. Those are the ones I want. Those are the ones we're after. Those are my oppressors. You can't tell me some poor person is my oppressor. That's impossible. That is impossible. I don't care how hard I work, and even I do succeed. What about my brother? What about my sister? What about my cousin? We're starting to move into homes, 2 and 3 families at a time. And they telling us this is the greatest economy in the world. What goddamn economy they talking about? It can't be this economy. It cannot be this economy. Young people working 2 and 3 jobs.
That's right.
They pay $50,000 to go to universities that they'll never be able to pay back. But at the same time, we make deals with Citibank, Wells Fargo,
Amazon.
Go after them to get your student loan money, and they track you down from year 20 when you're 20 years old to you're 65. They take every goddamn thing you got. So you give it back to them. This is a joke. We keep fighting each other over nothing. Fuck that. Why should we fight poor people? Why should we even be? For what reason should we believe poor people are our enemy?
Come on.
Listen to this. 99% of us get 30% of the wealth. I'm going to say that again. 99% of us, 99 out of 100 people gets 30% of the wealth. The other 70% goes to 1%. And then we got the mayor and we got the governor telling us they're going to raise the taxes on the rich by 2%. Who the fuck are you fooling? 2%? You ain't got no money for schools? You have no money for housing?
Come on.
You have no money for roads? You have no money for nothing. But the military gets everything they need. And we fight for 30%. No wonder people looking at each other, mad at each other. We mad at the wrong fucking people. But then when you turn on your television and you look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous, we're supposed to look up to these motherfuckers, and they took everything from us.
Come on.
But they say, no, we didn't take it from you. Well, I swear we didn't. It's them people coming across the border. They're going to take you. They're going to take from you. No, it's not us. It's the black people. Well, you got to be kidding. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, it was the Irish people.
Come on.
They're taking. Fuck no, it's the rich. It's the rich. 1%. When you talk, when you listen to your politicians, these so-called fucking Democrats, they come back to save us again. We're going to be saved again by the Democrats.
Oh, God.
You know, they even got good black Democrats who want to save us.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm still waiting for what, I don't know what Obama bought. Maybe he bought something in the hood. I'm still waiting. The hood still looks the same to me. Oh, maybe they got some new black people that's going to do even better. I don't know. Maybe they'll get some fucking cheese or something out of this shit. I don't know what we're going to get out of it. But they're going to save us somehow. Fuck Donald Trump, the madman. I don't give a fuck, the madman, the good cops. The fact of the matter is they're still protecting the 1%. That's right. Now, when they tell us we ain't got money for this, and that one of the fucking Republicans is talking about, oh my God, we gotta take Social Security from, motherfucker, you just gave them $1.5 trillion.
Right.
Are you kidding?
Shame.
Now you want to take my $400 a month check?
Shame.
When is enough enough?
Shame.
Shame.
Goddamn, I'm 62. If you gave me $500,000, I figure, well, shit, this will last me the rest of my life. What the fuck I need $1 trillion for?
Come on. Come on.
Well, I was saying it again. I'm 84 fucking years old. I take 74 pills a day.
Wow.
But I need $1 trillion fucking dollars. What the fuck do I need that for? But that's what they done to us. And they keep telling they bring us another politician. Oh, we're going to do this for you. No, motherfucker, listen. How in the world do you go about taking the 70% back? And until you talk about that, you're talking bullshit. I'm done. Thank you, Mike. They want it all. They want it all. Get this. We have to get this to our heads. They want every last dime.
Yes.
And the only thing that is going to stop us from preventing them from doing it, these motherfuckers across the street.
Right.
They're here to terrorize us. They're here to smash up the working class.
Yeah.
They're here to say, fear each other. Don't trust each other as members of the same class. Don't acknowledge that you have the same material interests, that you're all being robbed the same way. No, as Mike said, it's the people across the border.
Yes.
It's the people on the other side of the tracks. No. We know better. And right here in Philadelphia, over 1,000 people have come out to say, we are united as a class. The people united, will never be defeated. 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 All day, all night, we won't go without a fight. All day, all night, we won't go without a fight. All day, all night, we won't go without a fight. All day, all night, we won't go without a fight. All day, all night, we won't go without a fight. All day, all night, we won't go without a fight. All night, we won't go without a fight.
So yo, we hope that those paddy wagons over there are for the people fenced in on the other side of the street, because that's really where they belong. They belong behind bars. This is, you know, the people, liberals in this city and other places, oh, well, it's free speech. No, there is a difference between free speech and advocating hate speech. We're advocating the murder of people based on the color of their skin. And advocating and carrying out the murder of people based on their religion. And I could go down the line. You know, these are the groups with all their wealthy backers and their mouthpiece in the White House who are behind a massive increase in hate crimes in the U.S. In 2016, and I'm not making these stats up, this is their own studies, there were over 6,000 reported hate cases in 2016. Over 6,000! That's the reported ones. That isn't accounting for the ones that people were too scared to speak up. But you know what, sisters and brothers? That number grew by 17% in 2017. In 2017, there were over 7,000 plus cases of registered hate attacks. Over 7,000 cases. And these people want to say, oh, it's just free speech. No, it is not free speech. When your speech leads to attack on other people just because you don't like them, they don't look like you, they don't go to your country club, you know, they don't hang out at your bar, you know, whatever that bar is. But we have to be real about this. We have to be real. You know, this is going on. This push by the 1% with their backing, you know, whatever they want to call themselves, you know, is being used. They're using it to go against, you know, as Mike said before, poor people who have no choice but to try to make it to a place where their families will be safer and they'll have jobs. But I also want us to look at what's going on in California right now. In California. And I almost feel like we need a moment of silence for what might be well over 1,000 people who didn't just lose their lives this week. They were murdered. They were murdered by a system that refuses to deal with climate change. They were murdered by a system of gentrification in a city like San Francisco in the Bay Area that has forced workers out. A majority of the people in Paradise, California were retirees. They were retirees. Something's going on over there and I don't know what it is.
Let's go.
Stay put, stay put, stay put, stay put, no provocateurs, stay put, stay put, stay put. Don't let them use this. Hold your ground. Don't be moving around.
So something's going on here. We're not sure exactly what. So we're not sure what just happened. We saw some running and rushed over.
Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect?
Looks like the cops are arresting someone.
Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve?
The van moved. Yeah.
Who do you serve? Who do you Yeah, take that Nazi shit to North Philly. See what happens.
Fucking Nazi scum!
So it looks like someone from the right-wing Proud Boys rally came to this side, just got chased out. About 100 cops are here to protect 1 or 2 or 3 people.
There's way more cops than them, by far.
You can see these guys are putting their extendable metal batons back together. Philly police are known for hitting people with those extendable metal batons. I've been hit with them a few times just trying to report on protests here in the city. Someone see the Proud Boys over there?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
So I don't really believe it.
Yeah.
Everyone just keeps taking it.
Mm-hmm. So something's going on over here. Let's see what. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. So it looks like this is someone from the Proud Boys rally who's trying not to be seen.
Yeah. What happened? I was standing on the other side, talking to people to get a full story, like just to see who they were. And somebody saw me over there, came back over here.
Yo! What the fuck are you doing? Yo! ¿Te acaba de pegar? ¿La policía lo está deteniendo?
All right, this is Commissioner Richard Ross right here.
Back up! Back up! Back up!
Commissioner Richard Ross is getting pretty aggressive with people here. This officer's putting his hands on me. So there was someone from the right-wing rally just came over here. Looks like someone else pushed him. So yeah, Commissioner Richard Ross is out here protecting the Proud Boys personally. Commissioner Ross also endorsed the actions of the officers in the infamous Starbucks racial profiling incident.
It was like pretty much it seems like it was like headbutt. Somebody like headbutted a Proud Boy. And that's what happened.
So listen, on the bottom of my
So yeah, one guy from the Proud Boys rally was sort of leaving. He was trying to hide his face. Someone else sort of arrived. There seemed to be a confrontation, and now the police are making an arrest. And yeah, Commissioner Police Chief Richard Ross was out here. You can see here's the officers basically just assaulting the press. All right. The cops are pushing us into each other. It's like pretty hard to get a shot. So yeah, the police are getting pretty hands-on and violent to protect the Proud Boys here in Philadelphia. Cops here manhandling a photographer.
Stay brave! We got your back! Homie, we got your back!
So yeah, I just saw an officer basically put a photographer in a headlock before pushing him away.
We got your back!
You can see this. You can see this officer has his baton out. This other officer does too.
Fuck y'all!
Yeah, we're live. We got it. We got this shit.
Let him go! Let him go! We got your back!
Let him go!
So yeah, and Commissioner Richard Ross is out here directing these actions personally. So this is endorsed by the police hierarchy. What's going on here?
Let him go!
Fuck the police! Fuckers!
You can see there's the Philadelphia Police Audio-Visual Unit. They've been running surveillance on everyone all day, from rooftops, from in the street. Even when people are just standing around having rallies with no obvious non-First Amendment activity, the Philly police like to be very aggressive about putting cameras in their face and stuff. It's different than other cities I've been in.
You self-serving little shit.
Green hat, green hat.
You're pathetic, and you know it. So go ahead and laugh. But you know you're pathetic. So do what you can to convince yourself that you're not, but you know that you are. You fuck.
So yeah, if any police action pops off here in the next few seconds, we can expect these officers to be striking people with these bicycles. We can also expect some beatings with these batons. Last protest I covered in Philly, I got hit with some of these batons. All right, they're putting someone in the van now.
Be brave, y'all. We'll get y'all out.
Looks like there's 2 arrests. I don't think they arrested the Proud Boy that was also involved in the altercation. Last summer, there was a protest basically at this same location here, Independence Mall, where there was like a pro-Trump fascist rally. A fist fight broke out. The police choked unconscious an anti-fascist involved in the fight and then just took a police report from the fascist. So,
Keeping those horses prisoners, you fucks.
you see there's some cops on horseback back there. So you can hear on the radio the police might have other people they're trying to arrest. They're sort of tracking them through the city.
It could be that, yeah. I think it's like one of those 2 plus a fucking count.
You can see this officer has his hand on his taser. He might be thinking he needs to tase people. Got some sort of a Punisher pin on this Blue Lives Matter pin. Not sure if that's like.
No.
What kind of symbol is that? I don't want to misconstrue it.
Or something.
Okay.
One of those things.
It's to help soldiers' families.
Okay.
That are overseas.
Cool.
We feed them.
What's do you want to explain what's up with the cross?
What's the
cross with the flag? Can you explain that pin to us?
500,000 people have been killed in those fucking wars.
All right, so let's see. Here we got another Philadelphia police audiovisual photographer taking pictures of the crowd.
For what?
Philadelphia police are sort of known for their aggressive intelligence gathering against protesters. It really goes back to Frank Rizzo and the MOVE bombing in the 70s and 80s. So it looks like the police presence has sort of thinned out. You can see there's a clump of yellow bike police officers over here. We got some transit police too. And so yeah, so the police sort of have this whole intersection blocked off. Right here is where the arrest van just was, and then it pulled away. The conflict that happened like right over there by that wall. Cops sort of slammed one guy up against the wall, and then other cops came and sort of pushed people away. It seems like they've put away their extendable metal batons that they had out earlier. Okay, this guy with the sunglasses is saying Team 5 back up top. Philadelphia police usually rely on bike police maneuvers to try to control protest crowd situations like this. You'll see some batons, but usually the bikes are used as sort of a blunt force impact weapon. That's what they do if they think they can't get people where they want them or whatever. And so, yeah, over here, there's maybe still 10, 20, 30, I don't know if they're all Proud Boys, but, you know, far-right affiliated groups over there. There's several hundred anti-racist protesters over here. I would say the crowd has thinned out a little bit, but... All right, so the officers are yelling at everyone to clear the street. Got some traffic trying to come through.
We're at Market Street and 5th.
Yeah, we're at 5th and Market in downtown Philadelphia. Right over there, past the mall, is the Constitution Center. Right here is the Independence Visitor Center. The Liberty Bell is in that building over there, I think. And then that's Independence Hall down the street. So, yeah, before they really fully cleared the street, the police are having vehicular traffic come through. All right, looks like we got some more black-clad officers, some of them with batons on their hips or in their hands or on their chests coming through. They seem to be surrounding the group across the street. I see some legal observers over there. Yeah, you want to just talk?
All right. Yeah. So, hey, this is Dan from Unicorn Riot. So, We're here in Philadelphia near Independence Hall. There's been about somewhere between about 20 and 40 far-right protesters, and then I'd say a peak of like roughly 1,000 people at the largest extent, which is like dispersed a little bit in the counter demonstrators. Speakers talked about how really like groups from all kinds of different parts of the city, all the different groups, people from outside the city all came in to support the counter demonstrations. So really a very large mobilization here today. It's been kind of cold. It's been like the high 40s, a little bit of sun, so relatively good conditions for November for this large group of people. So I was able to interview Daryl earlier, a few minutes ago.
Who's that?
Sorry, Daryl. Yeah, he's an anti-racist organizer and researcher who's like a significant figure in all of this kind of work, and so we'll get that out there later. And so the journalists had a lot of trouble accessing the area. We can sort of point back to it out here. I did see at one point about roughly 8 journalists were able to finally get in there and stuff, so it wasn't totally inaccessible, but the police have definitely, we've seen this a lot, the police make it hard for journalists to survey what's going on. So there were a number of speeches from a lot of different people. There was a brass band, there was a giant sort of grumpy cat with somebody operated by 2 people with a sign that said no with it. So it's a pretty large mobilization. It seems like Philly has kind of a distinct tone to its protests. They like to sort of razz and chant a little differently than other cities. I thought that was notable. So there's been a lot of different people out here. A lot of people from the Jewish community speaking out after the massacre that happened in Pittsburgh recently. That's definitely a prominent element here today. So it seems like we're just kind of, generally speaking, I think the crowd here is waiting for the inner event to disperse. The far right did not have much luck with the sound system. It sounded like it was amplified for a little while, but then it tapered off. And so other than that, everything has been fairly static. That situation that we just filmed there was probably one of the more dramatic incidences. Besides that, there were 2 guys that were also Proud Boys that I think are identified people. Somebody knows who they are. It sounded like those guys came in the crowd earlier, and then the police kind of helped them get out. That was probably about an hour ago. So that's, other than what you just saw here, that's everything else has been fairly static today. But it's been interesting to see, to hear from a lot of people in Philly talking about how problems that are caused by the far right, that are a reflection of, various, social structures in society, are linked to things like the refugee crisis, migrant crisis, capitalism, people not being able to pay their bills, and all of that. So really, I think a lot of different speakers really found good ways to connect a lot of these different issues together. It's not just a bunch of weird cranks in isolation. I think that would be a misreading of it, and it seems like that was a perspective shared by the people that were speaking. So I think that was basically the majority of what's happened. Like, it hasn't been too fluid or dynamic yet, and we'll see what happens when these guys finally unwind their group. Things could get more mobile or whatever. We've seen that in some other far-right rallies, like in Portland, for example, there was moving stuff. So it seemed like things were moving for a minute, and then the police, rushed in and sort of broke it up and made 2 arrests earlier after it seems like somebody headbutted somebody who was a Proud Boy over there. So that was definitely the most surprising thing I think that's happened so far today. But they were also, it started earlier, there were people, they were sort of pulled out, like there was sort of a police move and people got sort of pulled over in that direction, and then the headbutting happened across the street. That was about 10-15 minutes ago. So that's about it right now. So we're Unicorn Riot. We try to help cover what's going on with social movements, as well as do in-depth research, Freedom of Information Act requests, and other kind of things to bring solid depth to these subjects, whether it's human migration. We've had live coverage down on the U.S.-Mexico border this week. We've also had a lot of references in other media outlets this week because we've helped cover what far-right people have been doing, have been chatting about online. We have the stuff logged in Discord leaks. So, for example, when the Clark brothers, one of the Clark brothers got arrested in DC, Unicorn Riot got referenced because that guy had been chatting on Discord, and so these people that have been, these far-right people that have been chatting on Discord then start to turn up, doing things like hoarding weapons illegally and that kind of thing. So if you help support Unicorn Riot, we can help kind of bring you these deep coverage on these issues, kind of put a kind of information framework around a lot of these issues that aren't well understood. So we're in the midst of a fundraiser right now, so you go to unicornriot.ninja/support-our-work, or just look at the main menu, support our work, and you can help us plan for the next year of coverage and getting out in the field to cover the different flashpoints and things that are happening like this in the deep research. So thank you all for tuning in today. We've been adjusting some new gear. It's been working fairly well today now that we've got the kinks figured out. So we're glad to have be able to share this with you and start kind of unraveling what's going on in these situations.
Shout out to Unicorn Riot.
Thanks. Yeah. Say, would you want to talk at all a little bit about, we heard your speech earlier, but we just want to
sure.
All right. Okay. So, so we heard you speaking earlier about, the social issues that were going on and stuff. What do you think mobilized so many people from so many different groups to come down here today? What was sort of the key factors here?
I think it's not just one thing. I think it's a lot of different things working together. We're seeing, I think, a lot of people in Philadelphia are watching what's going on around this country and even just in our state and seeing that we thought we were safe. We thought that, all right, you're in the Northeast, you're in this really liberal bubble, this safe haven, whatever. And then when you see what happened in Pittsburgh and you see a synagogue get shot up, and you're like, oh, this shit is real. And for like years, people have been saying, oh, the Proud Boys are Nazis, these people are Nazis. And then when they actually start doing the trademark Nazi behavior, I think that's when people really woke up to it. And seeing that even with the elections and people are talking about, oh, the blue wave, whatever, we're seeing down in Georgia, the black woman is being pushed out of that election through cheating. And we're seeing that the systems and things that are being put in check and put in place that are supposed to protect us aren't working. And so I think that what's going on here in Philadelphia, you have this very old historic place of resistance, and I'm not sure if you guys were there for the other times that they've come here, but every time they come out, you see all of the different radical groups come together, and you see a lot of different people just get fed up. I think that's what it is. I think people are fed up with the fact that our country is physically defending and promoting fascism, because what just happened and what we've seen in all these protests, you see there's hundreds of cops on our side. If you go to the other side, they're not there. They're chilling, they're talking, they're whatever. But they're protecting them. And I think that more and more people are recognizing that and seeing that the country that has talked such a big game is really more of just the problem. And I think more people are just ready to come out.
So what do you see as the next steps in organizing both in Philly and nationally? Where do people kind of got to throw their attention towards, would you say?
I think that people need to throw their attention towards I think people really need to throw their attention towards building regional media.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we're curious. We can go take a look at what's happening.
Oh, some of them are exiting. Okay, yeah, let's go. All right. So, looks like some of the Proud Boys might be exiting their event. We recognize Alan Swinney, who's a Proud Boy that's been to a few national events. You can see he's going to have paint splattered on him that's from an event in Portland, in Providence, Rhode Island. Yeah, paint was thrown on some of the fascists, I think, and he's still got paint on him from that. We'll show you up closer here in a second.
Fuck this Nazi!
We've seen him kind of bouncing in and out of the perimeter.
Fuck this Nazi!
So you have the...
Actually, I don't know if this is Alan Swinney. It might be someone else.
This is that...
Fuck you! Nazi! His name is Alan Swinney! Fuck you, Alan Swinney!
So police have been manhandling media here all day, basically.
Be a man! Be a man, Alan!
So we think this is Alan Swinney. People are calling him Alan.
So he's been, raising money online.
Hey, what middle schooler did you jack for those pads?
He's been kind of bouncing in and out of the perimeters.
Y'all are protecting a literal Nazi. A literal Nazi.
And what I said about Crystal Knife, it ain't happening again. Try Crystal Knife 2.0.
So you've got sort of an inner circle of Philadelphia police and an outer circle of federal park police under the authority of the federal government.
All right, Police Commissioner Richard Ross is coming in over here to escort the fascist Alan Swinney out of here, it looks like.
Be afraid, bitch! You better hide! Hide behind all these little pigs! Be afraid, bitch! Be afraid!
Get the fuck back here!
fucking touch.
Back up.
You fucking back up. Protecting